Yeah, so please start with introducing yourself, what you do, things interest you, and all those different stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So I have done my graduation from hospitality and tourism. I've been working with Oberoi Rajvilas for 1.5 years or so. And after that, I was working as an administrative manager in one of the school. And now I'm a project manager for Her World, Her Voice. So this is about my professional background. But apart from this, I also play karate. I love to perform yoga, learned from my mother.
Okay.
And if I get time, I would love to go for dance classes then.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about me.
Okay. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. So who is your Wonder Woman?
Okay. So I mean, I think you would be expecting that. That's my mother, Tara Sharma, because I've met a lot of people in life, very inspiring, but didn't find anyone compared to her. So yes,
Okay.
Tara Sharma, my mother is.
Okay. Yeah. So we did have an opportunity this morning. I think in the afternoon to have a conversation with her again. As I'm mentioning again and again, we are really glad that we had a chance to meet her, and we are even glad to have a chance to meet you. So we get the stories from the both sides and understand it very, very well, and we'll be more happy to get to know more about both of you. So my question, which I would like to drop here, is it would be wonderful if you could tell about yourself, about your Wonder Woman. Why is she your Wonder Woman? What are the stories and kind of things she has gone through that she becomes a Wonder Woman for you?
Okay. So I'll start from when she was a very, very young and cute child, and I will definitely be sharing in the PPT, so you would see that. So she had a family of 8 people. She had 5 siblings and mother and father all together staying. So her father was very hard worker, and he hardly used to get time for the children, but he tried his level best to give them the best. So Tara was the 4th child in the family, and she also, I mean, she was very notorious kind of girl from the very beginning. And in a study, she was not much interested, but yes, she used to complete it just because she wanted to play more. And to get the permission from the parents, she always used to finish all her domestic works, help other people out. Everything went smooth in the beginning when she was young, somewhere around when she was 5th or 6 years old. And then things started becoming a bit difficult because the family belonged from a village area, and they were not so involved with her, and they did not share a lot of knowledge which a girl requires when she is entering into a new age, or you can say from childhood to teenager level. And she had to face a lot of issues and was not cooperated with the family, basically, I would say. And although she managed to go forward, look forward, dreamed a lot, she always wanted to go in army and serve her nation. So she aimed that in mind, and with a lot of dreams started going ahead. Luckily, she had a lot of good teachers in her life. The things which family missed out to help her in, teachers fulfilled. So that's how her childhood was spent, although there were some barriers because a few of things which is not expected from a parent, or you can say a mother, happened with her. Her mother herself tried putting her into wrong things if I would say it in a clear words. She had sent her to somebody's home, I mean a kind of sale, you can say, for a day, and she was not aware about it. She went there, she thought she had to go to tie Rakhi. I mean, if we both are Indian, you know how Raksha Bandhan is. So her mother sent her to a place, to a woman's home, and with that intention. But luckily Tara was always surrounded with so much of positive vibes and I guess support from God always, that somehow she managed to skip that area. And she continued living with the family, but she was a bit separated from them then after this incident. And she was not very confident sharing this with her brothers at that moment. At the age of 17, 18, she met a guy called Umesh, and they used to play together, and as they were in the teenage life, they fell in love with together and ran away from their home, basically. Got married, and the guy promised that yes, I would help you completing your dreams in future and whatever you wish to do. She was very excited, overwhelmed that okay, now finally she has somebody who would help her go to the top where she wanted to be. Things went pretty okay. All the family was always against. They never spoke to her after that. For 3 months, everything was smooth. I mean, the guy, he stood in the rain, sold vegetables for her, everything possible he could do. But then, as we say, that a child has a lot of influence of mother, even than father, because father is usually working out. So, Umesh was from Thakur background, basically called Rajput. So his mother was against the marriage which happened and wanted some bride which she couldn't get. Somehow she influenced her son and said to him that Umesh, you are not the one. We are Thakur people and we do not do any job or any such thing. We only do business. Okay. But business, she took it in other way. So she influenced him to get involved into the wrong things. First anniversary of Tara's, after Tara's marriage, she was waiting for her husband whole day that he would come, but she couldn't find him there. And coincidentally, it was also the day when usually Indian women keep fast for their husbands, which is called Karwa Chauth. She went on the streets looking for him late in the night, hungry whole day, and she found him with another woman another woman's home. So she came back home. She tried holding herself back that okay, it was a kind of nightmare, maybe things will get better later on. She tried and tried. Then her husband stopped working and she had to she was always curious. She wanted to go to army also, but she was restricted. So she started working on her own. She went to school to teach. She used to walk for 1.5 hours, go by walk and teach to the students and come back. Then a sudden turn came and she got pregnant. She was really happy, overjoyed that okay, a child would change the life which we have. But to her shocking surprise, she was taken to the hospital by her husband and her mother-in-law, told that we are going for a regular checkup. She was made unconscious and got abortion done without permission. The things were getting very, very difficult in her life. She managed somehow, tried coming up again, leaving all things behind, convincing her husband to be good. She was losing hope slowly because she was taking care of her husband on her own. She was earning for the family, and so after that, she had one more beautiful incident coming in her life. She was pregnant again, and this time she hoped that the things would not be same as it was earlier. But in facing such situations, she was not able to take care of her health. She was very weak. And at the time of giving birth, doctor said either you leave or your coming child leaves. And she decided that the child should leave. But lucky, again, this time blessed, they both lived, and that child was a cute daughter. As she was expecting, she was very, very overwhelmed because the daughter got, she was born on 19th of November, which is also Rani Lakshmibai Jayanti and Indira Gandhi Jayanti. So she was inspired that, okay, if I couldn't fulfill my dreams, my daughter would do. She had a hope. And story went like this, and days passed and passed. She tried and tried that she would convince her husband he would be good someday. But the difficulties were not leaving her behind. And she came to know that her mother-in-law, she is indulged with the politicians. She basically gets a commission to sell women to them for a day or night. And then that's how things went, and she still ignored things and started taking care of her children, giving them the best possible things. Best possible education. People told her that you do not have that much money, send them to the government school. That would be easy for you. But she denied. She put them in the convent school, giving a better education, the best education, I should say. And also, she started stitching, making dresses, going to boutique, but still taking her child along and taking care of her. Things went okay till then, and then suddenly she started getting trouble from her mother-in-law. She forced her to get involved in such wrong things and get them money. So it was not possible for her. She clearly denied. Between this also, once she was pregnant again after that girl child, and she was aborted. Then she got pregnant again and had a very, very beautiful or handsome boy child, and it was almost like 11 years of marriage. But then she decided that if this is happening with me, and her mother-in-law did not leave her own daughter, she put her also into these things. So she thought this could happen with my daughter also when she gets young. So she decided to leave after 11 years of struggle. She applied for a divorce case, which could not happen very easily because politicians were also involved, forcing advocates not to help her out. Somehow she left. She tried taking the custody of the children with her because she did not want anything wrong to happen with them. But then it was very difficult to get those things done because whenever she applied for a case, any advocate, if they come there, they would forget to speak, or maybe they wouldn't come, they would forget that it was the date at that time. They had to be present. A lot of things. Either they were bribed or threatened, basically. Then children were young, so both of them, they wanted their parents to be together, of course, as any children would want. So influenced by father, they said in the court that we'll be staying with our father for 3 days and with our mother for 4 days. And that's when the elder child, the daughter, realized that who is right and who is wrong. Okay, so she denied to go back to her father. She said, I don't want to go. I'm not feeling comfortable there. So a father came along with grooms to take her from mother. But mother was reluctant this time. She was like, I am not sending my daughter anywhere. And she would stay with me. She called police also that if you want, I'll call police, but my daughter is not going. Girl was also, in a safer hands now. She understood that how hard her mother was doing to help them out, and they were thinking that she could go back to the place. They realized it. So till then, things were like this, and then she also had to take care of her own father because he was paralyzed in spite of having 4 brothers in the family. When they got the news that our father is paralyzed and he might not live more than a few days, so they left him in the condition. But she was very close to her father, no matter what. So she took a home just in front of her father's home, and where the other brothers also used to live. And she took care of him, gave him medicines, making him bath, and doing like every stuff, because he was not able to get up from the bed also. So he lived for 7 more years after that, which was a kind of miracle. She took care of him as a child, and she was the only single person in the family. And things were getting better. She was happy that okay, my children are going ahead. They are getting what they wanted. She put them into scouting guiding. She put them into dance classes also, giving them education and sharing the knowledge, being very, very frank with them, learning how their experiences are. And she was so frank that her children used to share everything with her, no matter what. Things were okay. We seen that everything is going smooth, but slowly she realized that her children started hating her husband, ex-husband. So she told them that no matter what it was between us, but he is still your father. You have to respect him no matter what. Then father slowly started realizing that he has done something very, very, very wrong. So he was confused what to do. I mean, similar like a chicken without a head. He's roaming around. That what can I do? How can I get my wife back or my children back maybe? But then it was too late. It was too late. So things were, seemed like it is gonna get better. But when her husband asked the family to give him some money from that home so that he can help us out in our studies and everything, he was also cheated by his own mother, and she gave him something by which he started getting, his health started getting lower and lower. He was really healthy. In 6 months, he got very thin. I don't know. It is hard to believe, of course, but once, if someone has experienced these things, they would understand. So there is something called as para. I don't know what is the word in English for that. So once a person eats that, they can no longer live. They get a period of 6 months and they get very thin. Their health gets ruined, and you wouldn't even get to know that what the reason is, and that person stays no longer. So the same thing happened with my father. Children's father also. So although she had left him, but at some point of corner in her heart, she had feelings for him still. So it was a hard time, but she managed. She overcame. Then a point came wherein she had only a mental support of her father, because he was paralyzed, couldn't do anything but give her mental support. But then after 6 months, in 2013, when her husband passed, after 6 months, her father passed too. And she was shattered, of course. But unfortunately, it was, the life had a lot of tests ready for her.
Yeah.
So after just 1 hour, her father died. Her son got unconscious, still unconscious. She ran to a hospital, taking him along with her in her lap, asking them what has happened. They couldn't figure out. Then he was admitted there for 15 days, and then they said he had diabetes. She was really shocked, and she didn't understand what to do exactly. But she took some loan from some people somehow and managed those 15 days, gave him medicines, started taking care of him, and then she opened a boutique. So while she was struggling with all those things, she still had these ideas in mind that she has to help other people out. So she opened her boutique, started training other people in the cheapest cost possible. and made the other women independent. There are more than 30 women, right now also, who are independent, opened their own boutique after learning from her, and living in other cities independently and sharing the knowledge with others. But the biggest shock came all of a sudden for her, that the same thing which happened with her husband happened with her son, because Tara's mother-in-law thought that her son-in-law might ask for money later on in future from her, from the home. So she gave the same thing which she gave to her son and to her grandson also. Yeah. So Tara tried a lot, which was, put a lot of money, taking loan from here and there, working in the night also, sitting in the boutique, earning money, but everything in vain. She couldn't save him. And the other challenge was, because she used to work from the very beginning, also used to take care of her children, but both of their children were very, very connected to each other. So she didn't know that how she would take care of her own daughter, because how she would make her understand that it is okay to lose people in life. So it was very difficult, but she sat with her, her daughter. Her name is Himanshi. So she sat with her and made her realize that it is okay to lose people in the life. When she was even not able to hold on to herself, she was still teaching to her daughter. But there was a lot of pressure from a lot of people. Why are you earning? You can get your daughter married. She will be 18 soon. Or you can get married again and we'll pay you the money. A lot of pressure. So she refused all those, because she did not want any those things to come in the life of her daughter. She took her to other city, Bhopal. So she took her there, and she did not have money to put her into a college at that time, even not in a government one. But yes, life has learned that life had learned from her that she is never giving up. No matter how many tests we are gonna put for her, she's never giving up. So she started her boutique work there also, giving her daughter whatever possible for her. And then suddenly she got an opportunity that she can apply for a loan for her daughter in one of the banks. And she got that approval within 2 days only, and her daughter was admitted. Which was surprising, because we didn't. She didn't know anyone there in Bhopal. It was a completely new place for her. But she got a loan approved for whole 3 years. She admitted her daughter in the best college, which was there in Bhopal, called Jharkhand Lake City University for Hospitality and Tourism. And she started her journey along with her. She made herself better in spoken English and personality development, learning from her daughter, also giving her knowledge together. And also she could overcome such things, because in this period only, when it was a very difficult time for her, she got connected to a very, very good thing, which is called Sahaj Yoga. Sahaj Yoga is not anything, any superstition related thing, but it is not related to any superstitious thing, but it is to focus on your 7 chakras in your body and meditate properly. So that helped her a lot overcome her mental issues or whatever difficulties she was facing. So things started getting better for her. They both were learning together, the mother and daughter, and she took a diploma in yoga. Tara took a diploma in yoga, and she started her journey to be a yoga instructor as well. Then her daughter got selected in one of the best hotels possible in Jaipur, so she had to shift along with her. So as she shifted, things changed for her a lot because she had whatever the work she does, like the fashion designing boutique thing, and spoken English, and also yoga, everything had to set up in the other city. So it was difficult for her, but she was ready to do anything for her daughter. She went to Jaipur. There she got an opportunity to be in a scouting guiding, where she became a guide captain, learning new things, doing a lot of camps. And they started living a happy life after that. Things got better and better and better. And although after this many, she's involved in so many things, she was involved, but even though she always wanted to train people, she always wanted to motivate others and inspire others. So in the meantime, she also gave free education to few of the children. And then when she was in scouting guiding, she got an opportunity to meet very young women and young people over there, sharing her experiences with them, being friends with them, teaching them what their parents might not be able to teach them, and taking them forward along with her. So now things seemed better to her, and she still have a lot of dreams which she had in past life also, that she wanted to serve her nation. So she's still now she's been able to do it in a different way, not in an army, but in other ways, giving services for COVID-19 or for different things. So now it is the same area where we are, in the same era she is. And learning karate, also studying again, she has joined the college and living a life which she always wanted to live from the very, very beginning point. So that's the story of Tara, and I think it would continue. She has a lot of dreams which she is living now, which she wanted to live in the childhood, and I think it would go on, and I wish her a beautiful, successful life.
Really, really beautiful. With the next question, Himanshi, really, really wonderful. Thank you for sharing the story. It's really, it's life. I think it's life. Whatever comes will have to be. There is no one who can pass through it. Everybody has to go through and pass through it. That's life. And thank you very much for sharing the story. Really grateful to you that you shared it with us. Really wonderful and inspiring. And I hope that it reaches to more people, that it changes the life of many and brings change in life of many people. So my next question I would like to put here is, how kind of inspiration does she become in your life, and how does she inspire you?
Although she inspires me in a lot of manner, because she has been through, she's been along with me from my childhood. But the major thing which I have learned from her, and I am influenced a lot about, is being a multitasker. I was almost about to give up on my dreams, and I was not able to balance my life between career and dreams. But she inspired me that how can I manage my time and live my dream along with my career. So I think that's the biggest inspiration I have from her.
Okay. And my last question to you over here is, I think the kind of stories you shared about her and about her life, and the way she has gone through. I don't hope anybody goes through, but I think hoping won't change anything. It will not make. There are plenty of women who would be going through this, and we don't even know about it. It is how it is. Talking and doing things can change life of many, but sometimes things are how they are. We need to fight them and move forward with things. So my question to you here is, what are the stuff you learned and try to put and add them in your life, in your lifestyle, and try to do things? How do you try to do things and learn from her life?
My Wonder Woman has a quote which says that everything is right in a limit at a right time. So I think that's what I am taking forward along with me, letting go things, going with the flow, That's the major thing which I have learned from him.
Okay. Yes, great. So again, it was wonderful to hear you. I think, of course, we move 4 minutes ahead. That's okay.